Hi, welcome to markgaylor.com, and we've got Abhijit Chattaraj, part of the markgaylor.com team here, and Abhijit started emptying a few bits of kit from his bag, and to be honest, these look like instruments of torture, Abhijit.
Yep, Mark, you're not far wrong describing this as a medieval torture device. This is the focus maker. In another video we talked about follow focus, really handy to have when you're shooting cine or moving image. Allows us to pull depth of field and do selective focusing. Now, the follow focus rigs that we've typically seen coming out for the DSLR market have been reasonably expensive. Now, the unit that we've got on there with the Samyang Cine lens is a Fotka, which is a Korean brand. It's not super expensive, usually comes in kind of under the $200 mark.
That's amazing. I'm used to attachments for shooting movies on DSLRs and mirrorless cameras being costing you an arm and a leg.
Absolutely. When the first set of DSLR focused rigs came out for follow focus and so on, Red Rock Micro was probably one of the first off the mark.
We're talking thousands, really?
Yes, absolutely. So between a shoulder rig, rail system and a follow focus, you could easily end up spending a couple of grand. These Korean products have now come out, and they're still sitting in the couple of hundred to few $100 mark. But then that still puts it slightly beyond the reach of kind of the hobbyist or someone who's just wanting to have a go at focus pulling without necessarily splurging out heaps.
Yeah.
And that's really where the focus maker comes in. Really simple piece of kit, comes in this very, very basic little bag. Essentially, you end up with this one ring on the outside, and we put this on the 7200 for the purposes of demonstration, just because it's a nice big lens, but you could really put it on any lens that supports manual focusing. It's got two broad basic pieces of components. The first is this little sight. That sits on a part of the lens barrel that's not going to move.
Oh, okay.
I'll put it on the middle bit here of the lens. And then there's the larger one with these distance markers on it that sits on the focusing barrel itself. The focus maker, when you pull it out of its bag, comes with these little clips, and they all come off. You can use focus peaking and the monitor at the back of your camera to find your points of focus. And when you find them, you put these clips back on, and that defines a hard stop for where your focus point is. So that's my first focus point, and if I move the barrel along, that's my second focus point, and on it goes like so. You could set up interim points as well. The bag comes with lots of additional clips, kind of color coded, so you can decide what your start point and your finish point is. And really, you use the sight to very easily go from one hard stop to the next. Very, very basic, deceptively basic perhaps, and people might overlook this, but I've used it, and it's quite reliable and easy to use indeed.
I've also noticed, being a still shooter, that unlike where we're always looking for the main subject to be sharp, because we've only got one image, often with a video clip we'll start out of focus and then slowly find focus. But I suppose there's your problem, is there's a tendency, if you're trying to find the focus, that you might just go slightly past it or not go far enough. And also obviously the additional leverage you've got on here must mean that you can pull that focus ring perhaps a little bit more smoothly than you can?
Absolutely. When you're trying to pull focus manually, as you described, Mark, and you're using your fingers, you're introducing more vibration and jitter, which does get eliminated if you're using the ring. So you can operate the ring just by your hand, or this additional long lever that's been provided, that just clips on quite nicely and gives you that additional bit of buffer to pull that focus smoothly.
I think it's great. I think these little devices, I'll call it a device, is just giving a lot of people great creative potential, really, for very low cost.
Absolutely.
These are the sort of things that you've been using in the industry, but this is giving the consumer with just a small mirrorless camera the capability of doing those very adventurous shots.
Absolutely, definitely lifts the production value of any video that you're making with very little outlay. These little device, the focus maker, comes in at well under $100 if you're looking on B&H or Amazon or eBay even. I picked this one up off eBay for under $50.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll put a link next to the movie so people can find them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good.
Cool. Excellent. Thank you.